Hello there. So this exercise is going to be really simple. Basically, all we're going to be doing is just going very slightly higher in pitch than you would normally go and just adjusting to that. Now, before we get started, there are some really important things that we need to cover. The main one is that we just can't really put any conscious control into this, or else it pretty much won't work at all. So you just have to make sure that you kind of let go of any kind of conscious control or effort over the voice. We can control the voice to get to the pitch that we're going to go for and do the first few sounds, but the idea is to gradually let the subconscious take over and adjust the voice to become sort of naturalized to that pitch and adjust everything that it needs. So it's really important that we have this sense of not trying to do anything, basically. And if you can, even avoid consciously controlling the pitch. If you have a tone generator and you just play that in the background at, for example, 130 or 140 hertz or around C3, that will help a little bit because you might be able to do it all intuitively without actually ever thinking about raising pitch. You'll just kind of like know that it feels better to be around the pitch that is being played. So what we're going to do is basically we're just going to go down to
not necessarily the bottom of the range, but just to a comfortable sort of voice that we can do really easily. And it should be clear and it should be strong. So don't make it quiet or breathy or anything else. You want something really strong to start with, because we're not going to compromise on those good qualities we want. We're instead only going to change the qualities that we need. So now what we can do is we can just go a little tiny bit higher. So for example, I'll go up a couple tones. 1, 2, 3, still strong, still clear, still very robust. And now we're going to start a phrase. And the phrase I've picked out is a bunch of Harvard sentences, but you can use anything you like. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Open the crate, but don't break the glass. Oak is strong and also gives shade. Cats and dogs each hate the other. The pipe began to rust while new. Add the sum to the product of these three. The ripe taste of cheese improves with age. Act on these orders with great speed. The hog crawled under the high fence. Move the bat over the hot fire. Open the crate, but don't break the glass. Oak is strong and also gives shade. Cats and dogs each hate the other. The pipe began to rust while new, and this is just the natural sort of equilibrium point for the voice at that pitch. And as I come back down, you'll see how everything shifts back. Now, this is already sped up quite a lot. This might take 2 minutes for you to make these changes, provided you can let go of all of those conscious controls that we expect to put into the voice. If you can do that, it will probably only take a minute. And it's really just the getting used to that can take a little while. So if we speed that up even more, I can show you kind of what you're looking out for in terms of the shift in the quality of the voice. 1, 2, 3. So it's really strong voice up here. I'm just going to keep going. And now I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Open the crate, but don't break the glass. Oak is strong and also gives shade. Cats and dogs each hate the other. The pipe began to rust while new. Add the sum to the product of these three. The ripe taste of cheese improves with age. Act on these orders with great speed. And I haven't even changed resonance really very much yet. So you can imagine what that would be like if I changed resonance and the speech patterns a little. And this is at, let's see, it's at 150 hertz. That's quite a low pitch for most feminine voices, but you don't really need to go that high in order to actually get the kind of behaviors that you need to achieve a feminine voice. That's why we only go up a couple of notes. You don't need to go much further because you've already challenged yourself to change your behaviors, and that's what matters. What matters is that rather than trying to make changes, we've just put the voice in a position where, by being lazy, which it really wants to do, it will just naturally find an equilibrium that we really like. And that is the core of this method. 1, 2, 3. Open the crate, but don't break the glass. Oak is strong and also gives shade. Cats and dogs each hate the other. The pipe began to rust on you. Add the sum to the product of these three. The ripe taste of cheese improves with age. Act on these orders with great speed. The hog crawled under the high fence. Move the vat over the hot fire. So we've got start full and strong. Just go a little bit higher. Not very much. 2 tones. It's plenty. So D3 or E3 is perfectly fine. Then just speak there and let go of all of the conscious controls that you're exerting over the voice. As you do that, your voice will sort of naturally adjust to that pitch and find its equilibrium there. And that equilibrium point is where you find those really good glottal behaviors and the smooth, consistent voice that doesn't feel like it's pushed up or anything like that. It's just kind of relaxed and it feels like that's at home. That's the thing that counts here. You want to feel like your voice is becoming more and more natural and more at home at this configuration.